Welcome to Real Truth and Power Live, where we provide powerful content to uplift the Black community with health, wealth, and knowledge of self. Come in the building, family. I got a powerful interview today with the financial advisor and brand new author, Selena Ricks, and we'll be talking about her new book, The Roadmap to Better Credit. So I'm going to give the family a couple of seconds to get in, and we're going to get right into this interview. Welcome to Real Truth and Power Live. Again, we provide powerful content to uplift the Black community with health, wealth, and knowledge of self. We have a great interview today. I'm going to be talking to Miss Selena Ricks. She is the author of the book, The Roadmap to Better Credit, and we want to just get this information out to our people, and we want to support our sister. So please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and share so we can get this information out. On the count of three, hit the like, subscribe, or share. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. I'm ready to go. I'm pumped up. Whenever we can interview a powerful sister, I'm all in. And let me bring Miss Ricks into the fold. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Well, I'm so excited to welcome my guest, Miss Selena Ricks. She is the author of the book, The Roadmap to Better Credit. And Miss Ricks, thank you for joining the Real Truth and Power Live podcast. How you doing today?
Pretty good. Glad to be here.
Wonderful. I'm very excited. I ordered your book and I wanted to get some information out to our people because we struggle financially. It's like we're not financially literate as Black people. Give us a little brief history of your background dealing with finances and credit and stuff like that.
Okay, so basically, I started out in the mortgage field in '95, and that's what got me started. I started out as a mortgage specialist, preparing documents, and then I went on from there, just going through that mortgage cycle of being a mortgage specialist and being a mortgage processor. So, and through that process, I just noticed how us as minorities needed help with home ownership. And I was seeing a lot of things being done wrong, um, issues with our credit and things like that. So I decided to make a long story short, in 2003, I opened up my own mortgage broker business.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and then that was going great. And then the economy, went bad. So I decided to switch my mortgage company over to a credit repair company because I wanted to help us. My reason for opening a mortgage company was to help us become homeowners because home ownership is valuable. That's where most of us build wealth from. That's the biggest purchase we'll ever make in our lives. So when the economy went bad and the mortgage industry went under, I decided, well, my next step, what I do is was to go towards preparing credit. So I split my company over to a credit repair company and just started doing credit from there. But it's a struggle when you try to help people. Um, you know, uh, it's just a struggle when you try to help people. So I, business wasn't that great. So um, and about 2 years ago, I started writing a book because I wanted to put stuff in a book. And basically, that's where all my experience came from, coming down the ranks through being a mortgage broker, working with credit and things like that.
Okay.
I have a passion for wanting to be in business where I can not only uh, and help myself be more productive in life, but help other people be more productive in life. So I was, starting the mortgage industry and the credit industry is always geared for me in business to be able to provide a service that will help other people have a better, uh, you know, outlook on life, a better financial picture. Basically, I'm all about financial literacy, financial freedom, just trying to get us to the bottom line, build wealth, personal wealth. You know what I'm saying? So, and that was one of the reasons I wrote the book. I just had a lot of uh, knowledge, and I had spoke to my brother. He said, "Well, if people don't want to come to you with all the information that um, and something clicked in me, and I said, you know what I need to do is just write a book." Because
Yeah.
it's not about money for me. I mean, I got to pay the bills. I want to make money, but
Right.
my foremost thought is that I want to help people prosper and build that wealth, and it's
That's
all
right.
about retirement. And a lot of people don't understand that our working years are only from our 20s to our, from 20 to 65 is only roughly 45 years to get there. So in between that time, you have to be able to know how to manage your money. So when you retire, you're not, if something happens, you're not, um, you're not living in that cycle of just getting a Social Security check, because you have to have a cushion when you reach retirement, because your income, your paycheck is going to turn into your Social Security check. So I kind of
Right.
got off track there, but that was
No,
the
you're good.
that was the premises for me starting for my background and then writing the book anyway. So that's where I'm at right now.
Well, you hit on a lot of great things. And one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is credit in general. Um,
Hmm.
First, just talk up to the people about why they need to make sure they're taking care of their credit. Why is good credit so important? Because a lot of times, our people, and I know I did it when I was younger,
Hmm. Hmm.
credit card, man, I'm not worried about paying that back. And at the
Hmm.
end, it comes back to haunt you in
Hmm.
some worse ways. And then if you do get a house or something and you start slipping again and building bad credit, why is
Yeah. Oh,
getting good credit and maintaining good credit so important?
you know, I can't stress enough. It just makes me cringe inside when I hear home ownership and I hear people buying homes, and then they don't understand the importance of it, and they don't keep their credit straight. Because when I was a mortgage broker, one of the things I had to do was fix people's credit so
Mm,
they could qualify,
right.
And I would tell them I only did two types of mortgages. It either was a fixed mortgage or a adjustable rate mortgage. All those other mortgages that were out there that created that meltdown of the industry and all like that, I didn't even delve into those types of loans. So I told people, when they, especially if at the time when you were getting a mortgage and it was adjustable rate, it was 2 years. And that's because sometimes the 2 year mortgage would give you a lower interest rate. So it put
Okay.
them into a 2 year mortgage, and so they could qualify. And then I said, well, after 2 years, just come back and we'll refinance you into a fixed loan. So credit is important through, I mean, you need it. You just need credit, and you have to be able to use it wisely, because you never know when you might need it. You might lose your job. You might you need credit. You need credit in your life to be able to sustain a um, better financial system stability for yourself. So having good credit, I mean, um, you never know when something will happen. Like I had a guy call me yesterday about getting a loan for a car. He lost his car, it got totaled, and he needed to buy a new car. But by then, he had messed up his credit again. So you're seeing, credit is important for so many areas of your life. So it's good to have credit, but you don't want to use it unless you need it, because you want to be able to uh, use cash, not credit.
Right,
So it's good to use cash, and have good credit to fall back on. You know what I'm saying? Because you need it
right,
for emergency purposes and stuff like that. So credit is one thing I try to tell people. The number one thing I try to tell people: credit is not an income. When you get a credit card for three,
hmm
four, $500, it's not and it's not. It doesn't supplement your income. It doesn't do that, because once you use it, it turns into a debt. You have to pay it back, and that eats up your income. Okay, so that plays on your income. So that is very important to have credit. And home ownership. When you were saying home ownership, people get into a mess with home ownership. You have to understand what home ownership is about. Um, uh, 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 why it's important to have home ownership. Um, Not necessarily that home ownership is for everyone, but it is a good building block for when you're trying to create a portfolio of wealth. That's where most people will start, because that's your biggest purchase you'll ever make in your life. So once you pay that home off, let me turn my phone on.
okay.
Once you pay that home off, um, you're building equity, so basically in your life, if you're focused enough in your life, when you get in your 20s, when you buy your first house, that might be your first house. Then you might sell that house, take the equity that you make from that house, and then buy another house. And who knows, some people buy three houses in their lifetime. So before they get to, they'll buy their third house is usually their house that they're going to grow in, that they're going to grow their family in, or whatever. You might buy a house when you're single. And that's the thing. I mean, so you got to think of it as, if you want to start investing your money, investing in home ownership is the best, going to give you the best return on your money when you're starting out, because it doesn't fluctuate like other investments. So it appreciates in value. So when you go to sell it, you have that more than what you paid for. That's your equity, and you can, do what you need to do with that. But I do discuss a whole chapter I laid out for home ownership, a
Wow.
whole chapter about how to get a mortgage and what it takes to maintain a home, and just what types of loans. I laid it all out. So because everything I wrote in the book was geared to help you, uh, every stage of your life, understand how you need to move through your life and get into retirement, and what you should be doing to build money to increase that, and so you'll have money when you retire. So.
Now, before we get into your book, and it is called The Roadmap to Better Credit,
Hmm.
I want you mentioned something about a portfolio and
Hmm.
how you can build that up with credit. Talk about that and what it means to build up good credit and why it's so
Yeah,
important.
and that's a good question. Um, that's a good question, because most people think having a portfolio is something that wealthy people do. It's not. It's something that anybody that has an income should have a portfolio of their assets and liabilities. Mainly your assets, because your portfolio is going to tell you what your debt to income ratio is, what your what should I say, your asset, your net worth. I'm sorry, net worth. It's going to give you an idea of what your net worth is. So say if you had a house, and uh, uh, you had some equity in that house. Uh, that's an asset. If you had a car that was paid off and it still has some value, let's say it's still worth $2,000, um, uh, That's an asset. Anything that's an asset should be in your portfolio. If you have a 401k, if you have stocks and bonds, and you can have stocks and bonds, you know what I'm saying? We don't invest. We don't investigate because we don't read, and that's the problem. Um, so a portfolio has your assets in it and your liabilities, and that with that minuses out. Um, when you have assets minus your liabilities, you it equals your net worth. So
Right.
that's what your portfolio is. Okay. So and having a good foundation, financial foundation includes credit. It includes anything. It includes homeowner insurance. It includes life insurance. You have life insurance policy. All that incorporates your financial uh, foundation. That's what you're building up from. All this is laying out your foundation. It's a pyramid. We call it in the financial world, we call it a pyramid. So that pyramid has a foundation, and you go up. As you go up, you're creating different areas of wealth, and
Okay.
making sure you're stable and all like that. You have to have a stable foundation. So all that is in the book.
Right.
I
Now,
just laid it all out.
now, I see the title is The Roadmap to Better Credit. And I noticed that you said you felt passionate about writing the book because you were helping people trying to help people get their credit up because you were trying to get them to buy houses. Um, what's some of the ways you can get your credit better? Like if you had bad credit and you're trying to buy a house and it's not up to par, what's some things that people can do to get their credit scores up? Because I know a lot of people with just severely bad credit. And is there hope for them, or what suggestions do you make?
Okay, and it really depends on the individual because there's different ways to fix your credit and there's different ways to boost your score. And I do tell different ways. I think I give like 4 different ways or something. I don't forget to to increase your credit. Like I will give you one example. When I was a mortgage broker and I wanted to um, help people increase their credit score really rapidly, we can do that in the mortgage industry by paying off some debts, negotiating debts and paying it off. And then once it's paid off, we would rapid score that up. I send it into my credit bureau, credit um, service, and have them adjust the score based on that debt being paid off and deleted.
Now,
Okay, so that
hold that real quick. I want you to touch back on that. So, when you say they do that, is it before they purchase the home, or you
yeah,
get them?
yeah, well, yeah. I
Okay.
mean, in order for them, if they came to me and I reviewed their credit, um, and I seen some stuff that they could pay off, then I would have them pay it off, most likely negotiate it with the creditor, and then get a paid for deletion letter. And once I got that paid for deletion letter, I would send it over to my uh, credit service that I use, and
Okay.
they can rapid score this credit up. They could, adjust the score. Now there is a cost for that. It was like $30 for me to do that, but per trade line, per bureau. So one trade line, which we call each item on your credit report is a trade line, and that's what we call it in the credit industry, mortgage
Okay.
industry, a trade line. So one trade line, if it was showing with all 3 credit bureaus, then I could send that pay for deletion letter to my credit reporting service and have them adjust it. So it would be like each one I would have to do for each credit report. So it would be $30. So you're talking roughly $90 to
Right.
do something like that. So as long as you don't have too many of them, it could be um, it would be okay. Once I got their credit score adjusted, then it brought their credit score up, I could get them qualified for a mortgage. And that's just one way to do it.
Okay.
but there's certain things I would do to help my clients get mortgages, and so it really is hard for me to say because everybody's credit report is different. So unless I look at your credit, then I can basically see what avenues to take. If you're buying a house, that would be one of the avenues to take. If you had the money and was able to do something like that, then you could speak with your lender or your broker and try to get that fixed. That's what I did as a mortgage broker when I tried to get my clients into a home within a certain amount of time. I think I would help my clients get their credit score up in like a couple of months.
Oh wow, that's good.
Couple of
That's
months.
good.
Try to get them into a home ownership in 3 months. Work on their credit score and get them in a home in 3 months.
Now,
That was always my goal. I like working.
did you recommend them to like certain programs? I know certain programs that uh, may help you get your credit up, or you just pretty much did what let's knock out a couple of these
Mm-mm.
lines.
No, I did it myself.
Okay.
Now, I didn't recommend them to anyone because that was part of my service to help
Okay.
them become homeowners. So that's what I did as my service as a mortgage broker. And whenever someone came through my door, no matter what their credit looked like, it would be my responsibility to help them, get their credit where it needed to be to help them become homeowners.
Now that's interesting because there's not a lot of people that that make money buying houses do that. It's like, oh, your credit score is bad. You need to get it up. Here's a copy of it, and come back to me later when we can help you out. You actually take your time with them and say, okay,
Yes.
this is the problem. Let's start putting a plan in place, and I'm gonna
Yes.
stick with you till we get this house. And
Dag on straight. And that's what
wow,
I did.
that
That's
is
that's what I
man,
did.
that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
definitely amazing. Now
Yeah. And the son.
let's get into your book, the
Okay.
roadmap to better credit. I just
Mhm.
purchased this, so I'm very excited
Okay.
to get
Okay.
it.
Let me
Um,
ask you, who did you purchase it through?
it was on Amazon, I believe.
Okay.
It was on
Amazon.
Amazon.
Okay. Yep. That's right.
All right.
Hmm.
So I know you mentioned what got you motivated to do the book, but just talk to us a little bit about what you have in the book and some of the things that could get our people motivated to purchase your book and get there we go, get that credit straight.
Well, I mean, again, my motivation for doing the book, I called it Roadmap to Better Credit because I wanted you to understand the process of everything you need to go through to get yourself financially uh, uh, motivated to get to the part where you eventually would understand not only fixing your credit, but also fixing all these other things and understanding what goes into once you get your credit fixed and you don't fix all the other stuff, you end up right back in the same place where you started. So
Right.
I wanted to give you an idea of how credit works, how credit started. I think that's well, that's not how I think, but I started out helping them understand what the FICO means, how it originated, and all that. So that's how I start the book. And then I just go through different areas that will help you um, understand the processes of all the things we will encounter in our life from a financial standpoint. So even reading your credit report, understanding how to read your credit report, this book is geared to help you get information that nobody else is telling you. Um, um, it's giving you that information that nobody else is telling you,
Gotcha.
and how it works. And if you still go to a even after you read the book, if you say, well, I still need to go to a credit repair person to get my credit fixed, at least you'll have some knowledge
Right.
of what is going to take place.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You know what you're dealing with. You know what a FICO is. You know how many different FICOs there are out there. People don't realize that there's more than just one FICO for different lenders and things like that when they go to look at your credit. You know, even maintaining good credit, what goes into that, protecting your credit. You know what I'm saying? So it really lays it all out. I even talk about bankruptcy, when to file bankruptcy, when not to file bankruptcy.
Oh wow.
Um,
That's all in the book.
right. That's all in the book. You
Wow,
should
that's
well,
some
you got the book. You got the
yeah.
book.
Well, so I didn't get it's on the way. It's on the way.
Okay. Oh,
So
you ain't get it yet. You
yeah,
ain't get it
it's
yet.
on the way.
Okay,
It's on
okay.
the way.
All right.
But
So yeah, that's in the book. One of the other things that I am uh, uh, concerned with when it comes to finances is just managing your debt and how to budget and things like that. So it goes through everything. I mean, it goes through um, uh, maintaining good credit, how to obtain a mortgage loan, with investing. I even talk about that, and I'm not a person who uh, can tell you how to restock market numbers and all like that,
I
but
got
I can tell you what where you need to start investing, what you need to be looking at, and stuff like that. And then you can go on from there. So my book is like a 101 on that subject. So that was one of the things because we don't invest. We don't invest our money as minorities. We don't invest our money, you know. So we need to learn how to invest our money, even if it's just to open up a savings account, you know.
you
So
preaching. You preaching.
yeah, I mean, we need to be able to open up a savings account. We need to stop using credit like it's extra money, you know. So I go through all that, you know, and everything that I mentioned, I did get put in research, expert advice, and you know their take on it, and to back up what I'm saying. So it's a small book, but it's got a lot of information in it. It's
Put your
200
book up for
it's
me, Miss Rick,
200
so they can
pages.
see it. That's what I'm talking about. If you're just tuning in to the Real Truth and Power Live, we have Miss Selena Ricks, and we're talking about her book, The Roadmap to Better Credit. Miss Ricks, let me ask you a couple of more questions before I let you go. What
Okay.
is the issue with our people? Why do we struggle? Why aren't we financially literate when it comes to those things? What's your opinion? Why are we late in the game with the investing and taking care of our credit? And what do you suggest we do as a community to fix some of those things?
Um, I just think it is it might be a system thing. We're not taught about it in school. I know when I was growing up, I, our grandparents were homeowners and things like that. We just haven't learned that how to, you know, we haven't learned anything financial. So it's like um, we don't think it's something that we can do. Um, you know, I know when, like I said, when my grandmother brought her home, other people in the community, black home ownership was a thing in the 70s. Um, but it was never passed down. It wasn't seen as a thing where you could build wealth from. We didn't understand the importance. It was just a normal thing that we did. That's what people did back then. Um, you know, and I think one of the major things is, you know, we just don't read. We don't get into, you know, we don't get into reading and understanding these things, and nobody's teaching us it. Nobody's teaching us, you know, compared to our white counterparts. You know what I'm saying? Their stuff is passed down. They were built with wealth.
Right. Right.
Nobody taught us wealth. We have to, we have, in order to catch up with them, we gotta, you know, teach our own to be able to learn these things, you know. And it comes down to us just not being privy to that information. It just was not something that we were uh, told about. You know, my parents didn't teach me about credit. We had to learn it on our own.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's still a major thing where we are still in that age where we're just not getting that information. We're starting to get it slowly, you know, um, but it's still a lot of us not getting that information, especially this new generation. You know, with everything is so geared towards materialism and, for a better lack of word, materialism. You know, we just don't think about that type of thing. We don't think we can save. We don't think that we can um, we think about when we think about a portfolio of assets and liabilities and net worth. Nobody's telling us that, you know.
Right.
We got Susie Orman out there, but that stuff doesn't trickle down to the Black community,
Right.
you know. It doesn't trickle down, and we ignore it. We don't see it as something that is viable for our lives, but it is, you know. So um, that's pretty much it. I mean, we just have to get into the point where when the services are being offered, like what I'm doing, like whatever else is going on, we have to get involved and want want it. You know, you have to want it, and you know, we do a detriment to ourselves when we ignore uh, information that could help us improve our lives.
Right.
So that's
Right.
why I'm trying very hard to get my book out to at least give people an idea of, oh, okay, okay. And I mean, I'm telling you, I laid it out in the book. I can't express that enough, you know, because I want us to, as Black folks, to understand that we need to start building wealth for ourselves and that we only have a limited amount of time to make that happen. So that's my whole goal. We only have 45 years, maybe 47, depending on when you retire, okay, to start building your wealth, to get into retirement. Retirement is one of the things that I see as a problem because when we get into retirement again, you have to get a second job. You know what I'm saying, to sustain yourself. But if you start out early, you can start building wealth, and when you get into retirement, enjoy your life like you're supposed to after your working years. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, and if you need to get a job, you just want some extra money, then that's a different thing. But you should be able to sustain yourself in retirement if you can get to the point where you are managing money and making it grow. So when you reach retirement,
You
it's a
good to
done
go.
deal. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? You're good to go, right? So yeah, so I'm really excited about the book.
How does it feel to be an author? I'm
I'm
keep.
still trying to get the hang of that title.
Right, because
You know what I'm saying? Because
it's
I'm
a
like, I'm an author, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
and I want to just first give you a beautiful praise for being a powerful, strong sister, and
thank you.
I'm actually writing a book, and it's going to take me a while. It's so many thoughts and how you have to outline it and be detailed and the
Mm-hmm,
time you need to just put in the work for the book, and the
mm-hmm,
fact that you're doing something that you're providing some information our people need, I think
mm-hmm,
is very important, and also is helping them get some type of structure to where they can start building wealth. So
Right.
that's very important. So I had to just give you major props on that.
I appreciate it.
Talk about where we can get your book. Well, so they can. Do you have a website, or
Okay.
they Google it?
I've been going through some changes. Um, and after writing the book, having the credit repair business, Real Credit Solutions, went through some changes with that. So now I
Now you said Real Credit Solutions. Is that your business?
that was my business, and I went
Okay.
through some changes with that. Like I said, the lack of support. I had my own. Oh shoot! Did I just cut him off?
No, you good. I'm here.
Where am I at? I can't see me.
Oh, I see you though. You good to go.
Okay, yeah, the lack of support on that was caused me to write the book, but then uh I'm going through the process of trying to change that company into something as to what the book looks like now.
I got
So
you.
I recently changed the name of that company to Real Financial Solutions.
Real
And
Financial
I'm trying to
Solutions.
go into doing a nonprofit where I can help bring people in for free, because I really want to get the information out there, and I don't want to struggle with people having to pay for the service. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
So my goal is to uh, try to put that information out there in a way that it's free to people to come in and get that knowledge.
Now, how can people? And what area are you from? What state and what city?
I'm originally from Chester, Pennsylvania,
Okay.
and I currently live in Norwood, Pennsylvania, not too
Okay.
far from Philadelphia, right outside of Philadelphia.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where I am from.
So if people
And
want to contact you, if they're in that area and they want to, get some of your services, how can they contact you?
right now they can inbox me on my business page, Real Financial Solutions. They can
And repeat
uh,
that for me one more time. It's Real Financial.
solutions.
Okay.
hmm They can reach me by inboxing. They can, they can just hit me up on Facebook, inbox me on Facebook. They can text me. They can call me.
Now, on Facebook, are you under Selena Ricks or Real Financial Solutions?
I'm on Facebook. I'm under Selena Ricks,
Okay.
and I'm also under Real Financial Solutions.
Okay.
hmm
Okay. Well, I'm about to let you go, Miss Ricks, but give me before you go, just give some of our people maybe one important tip that you would definitely recommend as far as getting your credit straight. One important tip or important advice that they can, start the process of going through and, repairing some damage that we all have done to have bad credit.
Okay, so one of the things I would say was get into the habit of pulling your credit report. The federal um, the federal government offers credit reports through annualcreditreport.com. You can get your credit report every 12 months through annualcreditreport.com. You should be checking your credit. That's the best place to start. Just checking your credit and seeing what's going on.
Okay.
And because we don't check our credit, that is one of the things that we need to do as far as trying to boost your score. The quickest way to boost your score is to make sure that if you've fallen behind on credit card payments or anything, um, to call your credit card provider and see what you can negotiate with them to get your credit back on track. And then keep your credit um, limit to your balance low. And that'll help you increase your score. That's the quickest way to increase your score. The best clients that I have are ones who have some credit established. They have bad credit, but they still have some credit open. So that's the first place I would look to see what you have open, what credit cards you have open, and if they're being paid on time. If they're not, then you need to address that issue and address it immediately. And even if you pay it on time, is it too high? If it's a $500 limit and you spend $400, you need to pay that down to 30% of that. That pay it down. So you want to always keep your credit limit, your credit balance low to the limit.
Gotcha.
So you're right. So that'll bring your credit score up, and not use your credit unless you actually need it. Try to use cash, and realize that credit is not a supplement to your income. It's a
Right.
debt.
Right. It's more of a tool than
Right.
it's more of a
Hmm.
tool. I think people think
It's
it's like, oh man, this
They're
is extra
using
money, but
free money. It's
right,
not.
right. No,
It's
it's a
not free
tool.
money.
Use it
It's
very wisely.
You use it very
Right.
wisely.
And
And
and we all make mistakes. I made mistakes before.
oh
So
yeah, me
uh,
too.
yeah, I think sometimes people give up on fixing the credit and they stay, I don't want to say complacent is the word, but they stay stagnated. They stay in one
Hmm.
place because they think it can't be done. But little by little, you
Yeah.
can get your credit
It
score up.
it takes you a minute to get into it. It takes you longer to get out of it once you
Yeah.
get into it. But it's worth it in the end. So that would be my tip as far as the credit. But I also want to say, purchase the book. It'll give you everything you need to know. It's a journey. I wrote the book as called it a roadmap for a reason. It's going to map out everything that you need to know about your finances, including credit and how to have better credit.
And could you
But
show that
first
book
you
for me one more time, Miss Ricks?
but first you need to purchase the book
That's right.
and get the idea of what's going on in there.
So we want everybody on the count of three to like and share this video. We want to get our sister Selena Ricks book out to our people. So on the
Hmm.
count of three, share. 1, 2, 3. Hit the subscribe button. 1, 2, 3, and hit that like button. 1, 2, 3, and let's go out and let's get our credit repaired. Support our sister who's putting in the time to help our people get houses, and has a phenomenal program where you can go and get your credit fixed, yeah, help you out and get you
Hmm.
in a home. So get that book, man. We're going to support you, and I'm going to put it out there for the people. And I just
Hmm.
want to thank you so much again for just out a busy day. I know you're so busy, but just giving me the
Listen,
time to talk
listen.
to our people.
All right, all right. And the next book I'll write is about being in business. That's another thing, that
Yes.
we have to. But we'll talk about that maybe when I get that. Trying to get that done too. So all the things that I want to do, to help us understand and build wealth, and businesses, having a business is one of them too. So
Well, I truly appreciate you, Miss Ricks. You are a powerful sister and a rock star, and I want to thank you again. We'll be talking to you soon. I know we're gonna have
okay,
some more
thank
things
you,
to do.
Everett. I'm glad you reached out to me. I'm really happy about that. I'm glad you reached out to me.
Oh, anytime, anytime.
All
All
right,
right, I'll talk to you soon.
all right. See
All
you
right,
soon. All
bye
right, bye
bye.
bye.
Another powerful interview. Um, we was talking to Miss Selena Ricks. So please share this video. Let's support each other. Black people supporting black people. She's helping people get into homes. She's helping them get their credit together. And she was so passionate and saw how so many people were struggling that she decided to write a book about it. Um, and I got the book. I think if you're struggling with your credit, you should get the book, and it might be something that you can pick up. It's very affordable. And another great show. Again, that was Miss Selena Ricks, financial advisor and author of the book, The Roadmap to Better Credit. And we're doing big things at Real Truth and Power. So check out our website at realtruthandpower.org. That's realtruthandpower.org. We got some conscious clothing on there now that's created by us, Real Truth and Power. So check out the gear. Wear something conscious that's black owned, that represents culture, real African culture. And, for all those that's been staying tuned, I took my DNA test through AfricanAncestry.com. So I'm excited, waiting on the results for that. And we are interviewing my brother Clifton Sherrod tomorrow. I cannot wait. He's got some upcoming events he wants to talk about, and we're just going to get it in and talk about some powerful information. And we're also going to be doing a live show coming up. It's going to be a very controversial topic. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be taking call-in guests, and we're just very excited. There's a lot of great things going on with Real Truth and Power. So please subscribe to the channel, share this information, and that's all I can say, man. We got a lot of great things coming out. And thank you again for supporting the show. That was Miss Selena Ricks. Please support her and help get this information out to the people. Again, the book is The Roadmap to Better Credit. And also, don't forget, if you're busy and you can't watch us on YouTube or Daily Motion, we are on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio. We're everywhere, Google, so you can listen to our podcast. And thank you again for listening to Real Truth and Power Live. We are out of here. Hold tap. Thank you guys again. One love. Thank you for listening to the Real Truth and Power Live podcast, where we provide powerful content to uplift the Black community with health, wealth, and knowledge of self. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and thank you again for tuning in. One love.